It is necessary, above all, that in eurythmy we should get beyond the mere making of gestures and producing of movements. For above all, what is perceived by the onlooker must be borne in mind. The onlooker not only perceives the movement or gesture that is presented by the eurythmist, he also perceives what the eurythmist is feeling and inwardly experiencing. This makes it essential that the eurythmist actually experiences something while engaged in eurythmy, and especially that which is to be presented. A eurythmist must become in some respects a new human being compared to what he or she was before. Because in general, through the fact that we speak or sing, we have brought about a certain attentiveness to what we actually want in the gesture. We lead over what we want in gesture into speech and song. When we retrieve it, gesture arises. And a professional eurythmist, if I may use such a Philistine expression, has to feel it absolutely natural to translate everything into gesture. Indeed, when mixing in ordinary polite society, a eurythmist cannot help feeling a sense of restraint and restriction at not being able to eurythmize all sorts of things in front of people. Isn't it true that just as the painter itches to paint when he sees something and is unable to, for he would like to paint everything but cannot always be at it, and thus has to restrain himself, so too a tired eurythmist is actually something terrible. For our physician friends, I want to emphasize particularly that what is essential in eurythmy, and that through which one achieves what is essential in artistic eurythmy as well, is not the mere form of the limb in position seen from without, but that which comes into being when the stretching or the bending within the positioned limb is felt. What is felt in the limb is what is important. Unless such understanding is acquired, we shall never be able to stand with our whole being within the realm of art. Something artistic which has not been permeated with the whole human being is nothing. It is a farce. Something artistic can only endure when the human being has poured himself into it. But then, we really have to feel the connection between the world and the human being. We must feel how speech brings us into a relationship with the outer world, and music into a relationship with ourselves. How, in consequence, all the movements of speech eurythmy are, as it were, drawn from the human being and transplanted into the outer world, whereas the gestures of music eurythmy have to flow back into the human being. Everything which goes out in speech eurythmy has to lead back into the human being in music eurythmy.